أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the Lord of the worlds, we thank Him, we adore Him, we glorify His holy name, for His mercy and blessing on us. We seek for His mercy and blessing on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. His peace and blessing continue to be upon His household, His companions, and all the Muslims till the day of Qiyamah. Inshallah, our class continues today. Yesterday, by permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we were able to conclude the book Hikmatul A-Ibtilah by Sheikh Fawzan. May Allah make the lessons we have learned from there to be beneficial to all of us, and may Allah reward Sheikh abundantly on all of us. And I actually wanted to consult someone for the next book that we should be reading, but I was unable to do that. So I could not reach out to the person I wanted to consult yesterday. So the book I was able to lay my hand on, so that at least since we have to have today's class, so the book is what I have here. It says Hikmatul A-Ibtilah Qoyim Al-Jauziyah. That is the wisdom of tribulations, trials by Allah. So by Sheikh Abdul Qayyim Al-Jauziyah. So the book is also a very good book because it's actually related to Kitab al-Tawheed, because we are expected to learn Tawheed, to understand Tawheed and apply it. If your Tawheed is complete, if Allah recognizes your Tawheed, if Allah is pleased with your Tawheed, the next thing that will follow is Al-Ibtilah. If Allah is pleased with the Tawheed you have, if Allah is interested in your Tawheed, the Iman you have, the next thing that will follow is what? So if you claim to have Tawheed, to have Iman, to have belief in Allah, and Allah has not tested you, don't wait for anybody to inform you that Allah is not even pleased or recognize your Tawheed in the first place. And that is the connection we see. That is why we think we have to read this book, so that we know that when we have Tawheed, we should be expecting trials from Allah. So the story of Ashab al-Ukhdud is actually one of the examples. The story of Ashab al-Kahf is an example of what we are talking about. You see, Ashab al-Ukhdud, those people who burned Muslims alive, it was a story of one young boy in the town. So the story, it happened sometime before Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after Prophet Isa alayhi wasallam, that in their city they have a king, and the king has a soothsayer that they normally consult, or the king normally consult when he want to make a decision, or he want to travel, or he want to do some important thing. So this was the custom and tradition in most of the towns and cities and empire everywhere. So you can imagine somebody who cannot take decision on his own and still regard himself as what? An emperor. Sometimes some of them call him as what? As God. Sometimes some of them expect people to worship them, and you don't even have ability to take decision yourself. By yourself, you can imagine the level of our delusion. So what we are saying now is that this soothsayer, he was very old, he was aged, and he observed and noticed that anytime from then he might die, because one of the signs of death is old age, but not always. So now he advised the king that kings should look for young, vibrant boy, that he will teach this knowledge so that he will not go with the knowledge. So that the young boy will what? He will take after him immediately he die or he live. So the king see this advice as a very useful one. So he now identify one very brilliant and intelligent boy. So he now assign him with the assignment of going to the soothsayer to learn and return home. So the boy was given this assignment, and when the boy go out in the morning to the soothsayer place to learn, on his way there is a house of a priest who have also inherited the tradition of Prophet Isa. So that was the story of Ashab al-Kahf also, because they are the people that come after Prophet Isa. They also believe in him, in his book. So even these people, this priest that this boy normally passed through his place, he also also practiced the legacy of Prophet Isa. So on his way, when he see this man, the way he worship, it interests the boy. So the boy will decide to wait and listen to what the man has to say. So he will wait. And when he waits, he will later go to what? To the soothsayer. But he gets used to it that every day he goes out, he will have to wait by the priest's place and listen to him. So one day he asked the priest that, what is this way of his worship? It is actually different from what they have in the town and from what is learning from the what? From the soothsayer. So the priest informed him that this is the correct religion. The religion that Allah has instilled and installed, has directed people to worship. This is the religion of Prophet Isa and the religion of all the prophets of Allah that have come. So the boy was interested in it. Even the way of the man worship also interests the boy. So the boy will now, anytime he goes out, he will stay. Okay, the boy was afraid of being punished. So the priest now advised him that when he comes out, he should stay and learn. He will actually get late to the priest, and the priest will after chastise him. He will rebuke him that why do you have to come late? So he will now say he gets delay from home. So when he's coming back again, he will stay with the priest. And he also advises him when you get home, tell your parents that you get delay from where? From the soothsayer. So the boy continued like this. But the boy still wants to confirm which way is the best. Is it the way of the soothsayer or the way of who? Of the priest. So one day there was one big beast that appeared in the town. So everybody was disturbed. People cannot pass on the way. So people were afraid nobody can defeat or nobody can kill the beast with all the soothsayer and people they have in the town. Nobody can actually overcome the problem. So the boy now wants to test his own iman and the belief. So he now said, "Oh Allah, if the religion of the priest is the true religion, if what he has learned from the priest is the truth, so when he throws this stone at the beast, it should die." And the boy says so, and he threw it, and he hit the beast, and at once it died. So that one confirmed to the boy that this is the true religion. So, and he was interested in it. So now, people were surprised about this boy power. That where did he get this power? So there was a man that was also blind in the town. So this blind man, he wanted to get healed. He has tried many ways and he could not get solution to his problem. So he learned about this boy and his power. So he invited the boy that he should come and heal him. So the boy said, "There's no problem in healing you, but with a condition. The condition is that you will accept the religion of the priest. But nobody should hear about it." In fact, it was the blind man that actually make it secret that no problem, I will do that, but it has to be secret. Nobody should hear about it. So now he accepted the religion, and by the permission of Allah, Allah has made this boy to be miraculous. You can imagine the level of iman and tawheed. That's before we go further. Let us also emphasize this area. You see, when your iman and tawheed reach level of certainty, yakin, you will become unstoppable. You will become miraculous. You will become different, and that is what makes the life of the prophet and messenger of Allah to be different. Prophet Muhammad, Allah make him to travel from Mecca to the seventh heaven in just a part of the night. What make him to deserve that? So if it were to be a human being that will construct a device that will travel that journey, millions of years they will still be in that journey, they will not have reached it now. We are talking of very long distance, very billions of light years. Even this first heaven, before you cover it, you take billions. So the observable universe alone is about 98 billion light years. We are talking of just first part of this. So you can imagine. So no human being can be able to construct any device or any vehicle that will travel that. Even if you are able to confront it, which fuel is it going to use? Even this our jet, whatever. So when it runs out of fuel, it has to refill. But this is Allah. He made him to travel in just a part of the night. And he came back to the same Mecca and prayed Subh here. What do you think made Prophet to deserve that? Wallahi is Tawheed and Iman. It's Yaqeen. That is why when Allah wants to describe that incident in Surah Al-Isra, how did Allah say Subhanallah what? Why didn't Allah say Subhanallah Asra bi Muhammadin? Why? Why not bi Muhammadin? How bi Rasulina? How bi Nabiyina? Why is it bi Abidihi? Why did he use the word Abu? That is, he has demonstrated complete way of ubudiyah to Allah. So why did he say bi Abidin? Why did he say bi Abidihi? He worship Allah. In the same surah, in the same verse. Later, if you go forward, Allah said, what is it? Allah is talking about the Banu Israel, that when they violated the light, Ba'asna and why did he say Habiduna, the way he has said Abidihi there? Ibadan, Lana, Allah has distanced himself from the person. Is an abdu to Allah, whether it's abdu Ibadan, what? Lana, servants to Allah, not servants of Allah. They don't worship Allah, but even despite that fact, by creation, by law, everything in them follows the law of Allah. They are still creation of Allah. So here, Prophet was given this opportunity and ability because of his tawheed and what? Complete subservient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you look at the life of that surah, if you look at the surah that follows it, that's the Surah Al-Kahf, it also talks about what? Miracles of Ashab al-Kahf also. What made Ashab al-Kahf to deserve that miracle that Allah gave them? What? It's Tawheed. They were running from Kufru to where? They don't want to enjoy or participate in what? In Shirk, in Kufru. Despite the what? The danger to their life. They were going to be killed, but they don't care. They prefer that to what? To worship Shirk or that thing apart from Allah. They run away with their Tawheed and look at the way Allah made their life to be what? To be miraculous. The next surah, Prophet Zachariah, Yahya, even Maryam, Prophet Isa. What made their life to be miraculous? Even the next surah, Prophet Musa. Even the next surah, the story of what? Of Anbiya. What made them to have this special grace and favor from Allah? Allah is Tawheed. And why is Allah telling us? So that we also learn from it. If you can also demonstrate or exhibit that level of Tawheed, wallahi, it is you and whatever you do that change. For Allah and His law, there is no change. The way Allah behaved from the first time does not change till the end of the time. So some people may assume it is in those days, this kind of thing can happen, it cannot happen now. No, Allah said my law doesn't change. If you are to exhibit the same quality they exhibit that time, if you are to do exactly the same thing they do that time, you also have that kind of treatment from Allah. Because Allah says, I don't change in my way. I don't change in my law. My nature, I don't change. It is you and whatever you have that changes. For Allah, nothing changes. Yes or no? That's the reality. So now, back to the story of Ashab al-Ukhdud. So this boy, his story went viral in the town. So one way or the other, the king learned about him, that there's one boy that is calling people to another religion that is different from the religion of what? Of people of the town. So what happened here is that Allah wants to test him. You see, we have just talked about Prophet Muhammad. We talked about Ashab al-Kahf. We talked about Prophet Yahya, Zachariah, Prophet Isa, Maria, isn't it? Before we go, the time Allah took Prophet Ibrahim, Prophet Muhammad Sallam to Israel, do you know the year? The year is called Amul-Huzni. Do you know the meaning of Amul-Huzni? That was a year of sadness to prophets. So Allah took him up in order to relieve him. In other words, trial. Because you have Tawheed, then Allah tried you because Allah brought relief. That was the same year he lost his wife Khadija radiyallahu anha. That was the same year he lost his grandfather Abdul Muttalib. Those are the people that protected him. And before then, he has been exposed to a lot of danger. And when these people death occurred, so more danger was there. So it was open to more danger. That he has to leave Mecca and sought refuge in Tawhid. But it was like from frying pan to fire. He was stoned. He bled because of this. He was insulted. He was molested. He was insulted. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Is that not peak of trial? Apart from the one you experience from home. You can imagine what can make somebody from your father town to you are forced to leave. Do you think it's something easy? Do you think it's just somebody insulting you and just... Can't you imagine it should be something very great and serious? You may not imagine or understand the level. Something that will force you to leave your fatherland, to go to a strange land that nobody knows you, that you don't even have a house there. It cannot be something that is easy. Yes or no? That was the trial they passed through because of the Iman and Tawhid. What about Azeez Abdulkabir? So, was it not a trial that they want to kill them because of their Iman? Was it not a trial that they have to seek for shelter in a cave? They leave their house, they leave their comfort zone. But for us, we don't want to sacrifice. We don't want to leave our comfort zone. We want to live, we want to enjoy. So the enjoyment will come, but trial will follow. It will come before that. What about Zakaria? So he experienced a lot of prayer, even from the marriage, even from the childlessness, even from the sickness. What about Maryam? Do you think the way she was accused, she has to leave the town and go to the outskirts of the town? Even when he brought the child, do you see how she was accused? They said, your father is actually a righteous father, and your mother was never a what? A promiscuous woman. So where do you get the child? How? So these are the things they pass through. But did they shiver? Did they shake? No. The Iman made them to stand. That is the power of Tawhid. So in short, what we are saying actually in essence is that when you have Iman Tawhid, there must be trial. There must be test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then this boy of Azeez Abdulkabir, so when king learned about him, he invited him and asked him about the religion. And he told the king about it, that the person is worshipping, the being is worshipping is what? Allah. And the one that created him and created him also, that there is no God, and that is the truth religion. So the king, he gave him an option, and he warned him, he threatened him that he's going to lose his life if he does not give up the religion. He does not denounce the religion. The boy insisted. So what will make somebody to see death and still insist? That is yakin. That is the true tawhid. That is the iman. That come whatever, I'm going to maintain my stand. I'm going to continue to do what I know to be the truth. So the king now decided to execute the boy. So the first time, he said his soldiers, he got some of them, he said they should take this boy to the middle of an ocean. And when they get to the middle, they should throw the boy into the ocean. So let him die, let him get thrown. So when they were going on their way, the boy with his yakin, he has been praying to Allah, and Allah has been doing miracle through him. He said, Allahumma kfinihim bimashi. So as immediately he said that, so strong wave arrived, and the ship started to swerve, and it swerved, and all the soldiers were thrown into the river, except the boy. So the boy drove home safely, and he went back to the king. The king was surprised. So I wanted to kill you, but it was my soldier that died. He said, no problem, I have more soldiers, and I have another way of killing you. He said they should take him to the highest place in the town, to the highest mountain. So when they reached there, they should throw the boy down from that place. So they took him there. When they reached the peak of the mountain, the boy said the same dua. When he said the same dua, the mountain shook and all the soldiers fell down except the boy. The boy walked down safely and went back to the king. The king, you can see ignorance and shirk. It can make you not to have sense. Because Allah will give you sign that this is the truth, this is the fault. Yet, your arrogance and disbelief will not allow you to see the truth. You will still continue in your darkness. So you can imagine that your soldiers are being wasted. Can't you see there is a superior power behind this? Is that not enough for you to believe in Allah and to give all your bad way? The same thing to Fir'aun. Yeah, Allah gave Musa 9 different signs for him to believe in Allah, but he did not, out of arrogance. So this king was about to command his soldier to kill him in a different way, to shoot him. The boy said, don't be wasting your soldiers. You are just wasting them. So let me teach you. If you want to kill me, let me teach you how to kill me. He said, but with two conditions. One of the conditions is that it should also be a public day, and you have to invite everybody, let them witness. What the boy wanted to do is what? Is to allow the people to see the truth. So he was ready to give up his life for people to be guided. So he said, if you want to kill me, take your arrow and say, Bismi Rabbil Walad. So in the name of the Lord of the what? Of the boy. Then when you do that, they'll shoot. He has tried, but it failed. But immediately he said that in the name of the Lord of the boy, it hit him once and he died. All these are proof from Allah. So that made people of the town to see that there's another, there's a God, and which is superior than this, and is more powerful. With this, all these miracles, all of them believe. All of them believe in Allah. You see, what the king wanted to do was to prevent this boy from what? From making people to follow the religion of Islam, isn't it? So that is why he wanted to kill him. But that same way he wanted to use to stop or to mislead people, that was the same way Allah used to what? To guide people. You see, Abraham wanted to kill Musa, but that same journey he wanted to use to kill Musa was the same journey Allah used to destroy him. You see the power of Allah. So here, everybody in the town believed, and the king became more furious. What did he do? He said they should go and dig a trench, a very big trench, and they should make fire. And this is one of the way of execution in those days. All those methods also their way of execution, and this one is very painful. He said anybody that did not renounce his faith, they should throw him into the fire. So most of them, they said they are not going to renounce him. They prefer to die, just like Sahara of Musa also. Immediately they see the power. So you can imagine ignorance and arrogance of Fir'aun. You don't have power. You cannot face Musa by yourself. You have to invite your what? Your magicians. And this your magician, which means they are better than you. Which means they know more than you. Which means they are more powerful than you. That's the meaning. Because you don't have power. If you have, you don't need to invite them. And these people, they say, we have seen truth. We have seen a power that is better than you. You say, no, you are not going to agree. So immediately they see the truth, they believe with Musa and Allah through Musa. So that was the same thing this king did. So they said they are not going to renounce, they prefer to die. They said there is one woman among them that have a small child. So she was afraid and she wanted to go back. So Allah made, that's another miracle, Allah made that small child behind her to speak and tell her mother that my mother do not go back. That part you are going is the truth. And see the way Allah documented and preserved their story. From there to today, and it will be there up to today of Qiyamah. What will make the story of those people? You see, this king we are talking about, had it been that incident did not happen, nobody will know him. The Abdulkabir, if they are not done Allah, it's not because of them, nobody will know the people of their time. So now, because of these people, Allah preserved those stories and messages. And so as it serve a word as a lesson. Where we have gone here is that because of the iman and tawhid of all these people who have just talked about, Allah tried them. Try again. So trial must come if tawhid is there. Allah doesn't try a mushrik or a kafir or somebody with deficient iman. So instead of trial, Allah punish. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, وَلَنَبِلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ أَبَشِّرْ what? So Allah says He's going to try people. Trial, that is trial, tribulations, with all this that is mentioned. Allah said, for those who are patient in the face of trials, then give them glad tidings. Where I want to use there is that this is a trial for the mu'minun. That's why Allah said you should be giving glad tidings. But in another place, Allah said, وَضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا قرية كانت آمنة مطمئنة يأتيها من كل مكان فكفرت لباس الوت والوت. You see here, Allah says He's going to test people what? With joy, with hope, نقص من الأموال والأنفس, hunger, fear, insecurity, problem up and down. Allah says He's going to test. The same thing here, Allah says He punished them with this. So what we are saying is that if you have iman, if you have tawhid, and you are experiencing either the same problem with a kafir, don't be disturbed. Your own problem is a trial from Allah, while his own problem is what? Or sometimes you may even have more problem than him. Like Allah, good problems. Don't be carried away by their advances and progresses in this world. Do not be deceived. It's nothing but punishment from Allah. So the nature of the trials and tribulation of Allah is mentioned in different places in the Quran, and the nature, even in the hadith of the nature of trials of Allah to his servant is what? Is to test, to purify, to educate, to elevate, and to teach. And whether we like it or not, trial must come. That is one of the bases. That is the foundation of this act. Allah says, Surah Al-Mulk. That's الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ. Your life and your death is a trial. Allah says, the one that created both life and what? And death. In order to what? In order to test you. And you go what? Who among you will do good deeds? In another place, in Surah Al-Kahf, Allah says, إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا مَا عَلَى الْأَرْضِ. You see, every good thing you see in this world, everything that beautifies this world, to some people, they see it as favor. You see, the greatest favor of Allah is Iman, is Tawheed. In Surah Al-Fatiha, Allah says, what is it? What is it? Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Siratal ladina what? The sirat of those people that Allah have done His name on them. If I should ask you a question, because name and me favor, if somebody who is materialistic, who does not want to understand the truth, want to explain or understand this, he will assume that the name Allah is talking about is enjoyment of this world. But that is not what the verse is saying. The Nima, look at it, it's talking about Hidayah. It's talking about guidance. It's talking about Tawheed. It's talking about Iman. The Nima Allah is talking about there is what? In Surah An-Nisa. Allah says, وَمَا يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ what? Is Prophet Isa is among the prophet, people Allah do Nima for or not? What was this worldly enjoyment he had? Most of the prophets of Allah. So when Allah said, مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ, so that is who Allah granted Tawheed, and Allah made to what? To know Him and worship Him. Allah, that is the greatest form of name. Even in this book, Sheikh mentioned that there are two greatest problems in this world. The first problem is the problem of people assuming they are doing enough when they are falling short. That you are not worshiping Allah sufficiently or enough, but to you and to your to the way you understand, you think and you assume that you have worship Allah sufficiently. There are some people like that. Even from their speech, you can imagine, you can see that, I pray, I fast, what do you mean? It means that person is satisfied with what he's doing. We talked about angel, that the angel of Allah, since the day Allah has created them, based on their assignment, there are some of them that they were standing since the day they are created, and they were created before Adam. Though Allah still continued to create some of the angels. So since the way they were created, they were what? Standing. And they will continue to stand up to the day of Qiyamah. Some of them are saying Subhanallah, different praising of the name of Allah. On the day of Qiyamah, they will tell Allah that they have not worshipped Allah sufficiently. So how will you, what is the level of your ibadah? Don't ever feel sufficient that you have worshipped Allah. And that is why one of the lessons Prophet taught us that even when you pray Salah, the first thing you are supposed to say is what? So that is that even with the deficiency in your religion, in your prayer, Allah should accept it. Allah should forgive you based on your deficiency that you have not done it sufficiently. How will you now feel that you have done it correctly or sufficiently? Even at the end of Ramadan. So we are asked to seek for Allah, to pray to Allah, to give what? Sadaqah. So that Allah will accept it from us just the way it is, not because you have done it sufficiently. Even Hajj, even all the form of our ibadah. So in other words, the greatest form of one of the greatest form of problem, is somebody to assume he has done correctly when he's even worship. And to Wallahi, nobody has worshipped Allah sufficiently. On the day of Qiyamah, Allah will command the angel to put one of his servants in the Jannah out of his rahmah. Then the servant will wonder, why out of your rahmah? Why not out of my what? My deed. Because he worshipped Allah for 500 good years without adding anything to it. He just left the town and go to the what? To the outskirts of the town. Him alone, he does not get disturbed by any. He didn't get distracted by any worldly thing. He's concentrated and worship Allah. So for 500 years. So he felt that is religion and worship should be sufficient to put him in Jannah. But yet Allah says he should put him what? With his what? So when he has this question, Allah said, if you want me to put you in Jannah with your worship, there's no problem. But you know, one of the principles of this world is give and take. In other words, the reason why we have to worship Allah is because Allah has done ni'mah, favor for us. So Allah has done his favor on us in abundance, openly and what? And the one we cannot see. So now these people, this man, he now say, so Allah said no problem. The angel should take one of his eye and weigh the favor of the eye and put it on the scale and weigh the what? The ibadah of 500 years. So they put the ibadah of 500 years on the scale and the favor of one eye, just one eye on the scale, and the favor of one eye, it outweighs the ibadah of 500 years. How can you sufficiently worship Allah based on this favor of him? So you cannot. But Allah, if you have tawhid, Allah will overlook everything and He will give you more than what you have done. وَيَزِيدُ فَضْلِ Allah will increase you from His what? From His fadl. So, where we have actually digressed is that if somebody, one of the greatest problems is somebody to feel that he has what? He has worshipped Allah sufficiently. Wallahi, nobody can worship Allah sufficiently. That is why if Prophet Salah was informing his Sahaba one day that everybody is going to enter Jannah out of the rahmah of Allah. He has even you, Prophet, Prophet said, even me, I will be put in Jannah out of the rahmah of Allah, not out of my deed. So, and look at the way Prophet worship Allah. Imagine the level of worship. So you and I, how can we now feel that you have worshipped Allah sufficiently that you'll be expecting that kind of reward from Allah? So if you feel you have worshipped Allah, you are actually in a great danger and you have the greatest problem. The second problem is for somebody to feel that the favor Allah has given him is for worldly purpose, or is for enjoyment, or is for him to, is because Allah loves him. So if the sign of love of Allah is having this word, then the set of people who are supposed to have this word should have been all the messengers and prophets. Look at the life of even Prophet Muhammad. So one day Prophet was sleeping on a mat, and when he woke up, the lines of the mat was on his body. And Abu Bakr started to weep. That you, Prophet of Allah, that Allah has given all these people, and we have emperors that were enjoying the life there. So Prophet was angry because of this statement. He said, don't you like that you have hereafter and they have this word? They're not preparing for you. So we have one hadith of Prophet, our mother Aisha said, sometime for 3 months they will not cook in their house. Not because they don't want to cook, but they don't have. Who is he talking about? The prophets. So if the sign of love of Allah for you is for you to have this word, they should have it, not you. Yes or no? Yes. Allah loved them. He mentioned, He told us several places in Quran, isn't it? So you having this word is not a sign at all. It's not a sign of Allah. It's actually a great trial. And if Allah gives you a favor, what Allah is expecting from you is to do shukr. That is why in this verse we just read now, Allah said, "Fakafarot bi what?" So what is Allah expecting from them? So what is Allah expecting from them? Shukr. But they did not do it. Then what follows it? And that is the punishment of this world. On the day of Qiyamah, greater punishment is coming. So you see, when Allah gives you a favor or any blessing in this world, if you want to know that it's because of the love of Allah for you, then that thing will be used in the way of Allah, and you will never feel more important, or you will never feel happy because of that thing. Anytime you are feeling happy, you are boasting, you are impressing people because, and you are announcing that, hey, come and see what Allah has done to me. Oh, hey, I have this, I have that, Allah loves me. That is a sign that that thing is not even a favor in the first place. It's a punishment. Because if it is a favor, it is shukru you will have done. When Allah tested Sulaiman with that, what did he say? He said, Allah has tested me in this way in order to test me a hashkur. Allah wants to see whether I will do shukuru or I will not do shukuru. That is all. That is it. Favor and blessing is not more than that. It's not for you to think I'm better, I'm this, I'm there, I'm here, I'm better than. No. And the fact that Allah did not give you does not mean Allah doesn't love you. Sometimes Allah even loves you, that's why He doesn't give you. Allah purifies you, that is why He does not give you. Because we have just talked about, look at Prophet Isa. What did he have when he was living? What about all the prophets? If you to have this one, look at the number of years Prophet Ibrahim had before he was blessed with child. Whereas his contemporary are enjoying their lives, having children, having houses, having property of this world. Even Prophet Muhammad, Allah told him, it's just an enjoyment of this world. Do not be deceived. Do not be carried away. In other words, we give them, we don't give you, but don't be disturbed with it. So if Allah gives somebody blessings of this world and He does not give you, don't be disturbed. Don't be carried away. That is not the point. That is not the purpose of your existence. The only thing that should make you sad, the only thing that will disturb you, the only thing you should feel worried about is, what is the level of my tawhid? What is the level of my worship to Allah? Wallahi, that's the most important thing. We have just talked about Fir'aun now. When Fir'aun was living, he was controlling empire. He was in control. Everything was under his control. But today, how is he? Tomorrow on the day of Qiyamah, how is he going to be? This is the same Fir'aun. Musa, he wanted to kill. And the Banu Israel, he enslaved. What was going to be there? So the same thing in this world. If you get disturbed and deceived and carried away by this world, and you die in that state or that manner, there's going to be a problem on the day of Qiyamah. This world is nothing to Allah. So don't think everything that is happening here. Sometimes the reason why Allah allows us to live sometimes is because of some of the level of ibadah people are doing. So when the end of the world comes and there's nobody who is doing ibadah again, there will be no any other good thing people are enjoying in this world. So what we have got actually is that one of the greatest problems somebody can have is for him, when he's blessed or favored by Allah, to now see it as a sign of love of Allah, or to be boasting. In fact, you boasting about something or trying to impress people with what Allah has done for you, it's a sign that Allah wants to punish you with that. Because boastfulness, like Allah mentioned, doesn't like anybody that boasts. Allah says He doesn't like you, and you think Allah loves you. That is contradictory. The moment you feel important, the moment you are boasting, the moment you are oppressing people with what you have, the moment you feel more important than other, just be informed that Allah doesn't even love you. Now, if Allah is favoring you, that does not mean He is blessing you. That does not mean He loves you. In fact, one of the scholars, among some scholars, they said, if you want to know that Allah is not happy with you, if you want to see the God of Allah, is that Allah will bless you. The more you offend Him, the more you say against Him, the more Allah bless you. That is a sign that Allah is, the wrath of Allah is higher on you. The God of Allah, if Allah is more, Allah is not like human being. So if human being is displeased with you, immediately you will see the sign. He will cut off all favor from Him to you. But for Allah, that may even be the time Allah will even give you more favor. The more Allah is displeased with you, the more He will be blessing you. Allah says, وَهُمْ لِي لَهُمْ إِنَّ كَيْدِي وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ. Allah said they were disbelievers, isn't it? Allah said they should not think that all those good things we are giving them, they should not think it's a very good thing for them. But who are what? شَرٌّ لَهُمْ. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُمْلِي الظَّالِمَ حَتَّى إِذَا أَخَذَهُ. So for a wrongdoer, for somebody that commits sin or disbelief in Allah, Allah will bless him, favor him, give him everything. And he say what? It's actually a warning to him. Until a time and a point, Allah will catch him unaware and he will not be able to escape. So what we are saying here at this point is that, like he mentioned here, that one of the two problems in the world is for somebody to think that the greatest favor Allah can give you is to give you tawhid. It will increase your iman. It will increase your level of worship of Allah. Allah, that's the greatest favor. And that is what Allah is saying, الَّذِي أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ غَيْرُ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ. That's the meaning. So that's the meaning of the same verse in Surah Al-Nisa. Not that I have this world, I'm the president of the world, I have this world, I have this car, I have this house, I have control this, I have these houses. No, that is not meaning. That's not the meaning. That's not the meaning. If it is the meaning, those prophets and millions will have it. Isn't it? So, the nature of the trial of Allah, tribulation of Allah to his servant, his beloved servant, is not because Allah is displeased with them. No, now, let's look at the life of Prophet Muhammad himself to understand what you are saying. Didn't Allah love him? Was it not Allah that sent him? So now if it is Allah that sent him, and Allah is capable, and Allah can do everything, and Allah love him, why did Allah allow all those things that happened to him happen to him? Was it not right? Didn't they make attempt to assassinate him? 10 different assassination attempts on his life. So there are many. In fact, he was poisoned. He was exed. There was magic that was done against him. He was hurt. He was harmed. He was insulted. Many bad things, and he has never offended any one of them. If they have precious property to keep in a safe, they don't want it to get lost or to be stolen, they will never think of another person except him. If they think of justice, they will never think of anybody that will do justice except him. So immediately you say Allah, he became their greatest enemy, and they want to eliminate. They hated him. They did all sorts of things. So at that time, can't Allah stop it? When he went to Torabora, and he was dealt with the way they dealt with him, can't Allah stop them? Can't Allah destroy those people? But because it was a trial. And sometimes they insulted him and he will be feeling unhappy. How did Allah respond? Allah said, we have known that you are very unhappy from what they say, but you are under our control. We see you. So the same thing for us. So the simple message here is that if you claim to have Iman, Tawheed, and Allah has not tested you, the manner He says He is going to test us, just be informed that your Iman has not reached the correct level. But if you reach correct, it will surely come. Look at the way Allah says, وَلَا نَبِلُوَنَّكُمْ. This is Tawheed, at-Tawheed. هَمْ أَصِبْتُمْ أَنْ تَدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةَ وَلَمَّا يَأْتِكُمْ أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَنْ يُتْرَكُوا أَنْ يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. So Allah is talking about what? About trial, test. So if you have not been tested, if you have not been tried, that should be a source of concern for you. Does Allah love me? Does Allah recognize my Iman? Does Allah recognize my Tawheed? That should always be question mark in front of you. Wallahi, we don't even need to explain it. Just study the life of the Prophet and Messenger, even the Sahaba. You see what even the scholars, all these Imam Bukhari, did you know the way he died? Imam Muslim, Ibn Qoyim, Al-Jauziyah, Ibn Taymiyyah, Imam Shafi, Imam Malik. Do you know how they were tortured, how they were beaten, some of them? Do you know how they killed them? Do you know how they imprisoned them? I would think life is about enjoyment. And these are people that we have their legacy, we read about them. These are people Allah preserve their names and their legacy. These are the people Allah praise. The Sahaba and all these Salaf. So, but the society is actually changing the correct view. You want us to understand that sign of love of Allah is to give you this word. Wallahi no. Kalla. Thumma kalla. It is not like that. May Allah give us better understanding of His speech, and may Allah give us ability to pass His trial and test when He comes. You see, Prophet Ibrahim, we just talked about him. So Allah made him to be a model for the humanity and for everybody that come after him because he passed the test of Allah. Allah said, وَإِذْ ابْتَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ بِكَلِمَاتٍ. So when he passed, what happened? قَالَ إِنِّي. So because he passed the test, the trial. If he has not passed, and wallahi, that's another principle. Allah will only make it. You see, there is a difference between a boss and a leader. A leader is somebody that lead, even without you talk, you have influence. People, you have charisma that people see you as somebody to follow, to emulate, and you are a model. So Allah will not make somebody like a model except he has passed through some trial. You will not be a model. And when Allah makes you a model, then it means He has opened a door of reward for you. Sometimes you'll be sleeping in your house and they will be recording great reward for you because people that have taken you as a model, they are doing acts that is from you, they learned it, and you are being recorded. And you are sleeping. This is Prophet Ibrahim. So if you can imagine what the reward they were getting, look at Hajar, look at Ismail. Imagine the way they be rewarded because of what Allah's legacy they have left. So Allah will not make anybody like that. Even the Banu Israel, after they passed that, that's when Allah made them. So the same thing for us. May Allah give us better understanding of His speech. May Allah forgive us wherever we have made mistake. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik. Inshallah la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi. Now we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide our start of goodness. Now, if we know our questions, we can answer. Question? It's absence of question, so we continue inshallah to next week. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.